Some strange reason, Arizona's governors have had a very spotty attendance record through the years. It's been almost 30 years since an Arizona governor completed 2 full terms in office. Evan Mecham, he was impeached in 1988. Janet Napolitano, she left during her 2nd term to head up Homeland Security in the Obama administration. And then there's Fife Symington. Convicted of fraud, he resigned from office in 1996. But out of all of these governors who left office early, it's perhaps Symington who had the most lasting impact on Arizona. 25 years ago, few were riding as high as Fife Symington. The brash developer had just brought the Camelback Esplanade to fruition. He parlayed that victory into an improbable march to become Arizona's 19th governor.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
I recently caught up with Symington at the Esplanade, where it all started. He was lamenting the loss of the fine marble in the entryway that he handpicked from a quarry in Italy.
They've torn out all that beautiful marble.
I take it you don't think that this is an improvement?
No, this is.
Do you think about your time as governor much?
You know, I really don't. I mean, I'm reminded of it periodically, but I don't live there. I mean, that to me was a waypoint in my life.
Yet so many of the battles he fought as governor are still with us today. School choice. Symington made Arizona a haven for charter schools.
By creating that choice and creating charter schools, the public education institutions would be forced to compete and get better. It was never meant to hurt. It was meant to make them better.
And Indian gaming. It began on his watch, even though he vigorously opposed it.
The impacts haven't been what I expected. They've been, it's had less of an impact on the rest of the state than, you know, I think I was probably wrong. I was maybe too concerned about that.
Symington's 2nd term was cut short when he was convicted of bank fraud stemming from his developments, including his beloved Esplanade. Do you wish this had never happened?
What, the Esplanade?
Yes.
Oh no, I love building this project. This was really great. I have nothing but the fondest memories of this effort. I never dreamed it would end up being used as a weapon against me. I was pretty naive, actually, looking back.
The day after Symington was convicted, he resigned as governor.
I have never been one to linger, and I don't intend to start now. I just felt that the office is more important than the person holding the office, and that it would not be good for the state to have a sitting governor you know, under these convictions and under appeal. It just wouldn't make any sense. It would not be good for the state.
Symington was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison.
It was a deeply humanizing experience. I mean, it really did change me. It made me a lot less judgmental. It made me even more concerned about the power of the federal government and the damage that they can do to anyone if they put the flashlight on you, the bright light on you.
While his appeals wound through the courts, he found solace behind a stove.
I went to culinary school to kind of take my mind off of that.
He became a chef and opened the Scottsdale Culinary Institute.
I used to teach the custard and creme brulee class.
But prison was always looming.
I had a yellow duffel bag in my bedroom, which was packed because I might have to report to Nellis on a 24-hour notice if I lost my appeal.
He never did go to prison. His conviction was overturned. The government considered retrying him, but President Bill Clinton ended that when he pardoned Symington. The two had a chance meeting years before.
It was Hyannisport outside the Kennedy compound.
Both were 19.
It was a very interesting weekend.
Introduced by a mutual friend, Tommy Kaplan, who would later petition the president to pardon Symington.
So we all got together at Hyannisport on a weekend, and 2 of my very attractive first cousins, Jane and Elise, were with us.
The girls caught Bill Clinton's eye.
I quickly realized that I needed to protect my two first cousins, both of whom were just drop-dead gorgeous. It's sort of a stormy day, and we're down on the beach, and we're walking along the beach, and the red flags are up, and there are riptides, and all this, and Tommy turns to me, and he says, well, where's Bill? Perhaps there'd been some drinking a little bit, maybe, you know, and we're looking around, we can't find him anywhere, he's not anywhere to be seen. And then I looked out, and there, 100 yards or 100 offshore, is this head bobbing, and there's Bill Clinton caught in the riptide, headed to Portugal.
Symington climbed into a rowboat and headed out.
I got upstream of him, and he crashed into the side of the boat, and I'll never forget because I reached down and grabbed him by his hair, of which there was a lot, and he's a big guy, and I lifted him up, so I said, do you need a ride? And I flipped him into the boat, and he was coughing, and it lacerated his chest because he'd been raked over some shoals, and brought him to shore, and that was it.
In that one afternoon, Symington had saved the life of the future president and perhaps saved himself.
Which he says saved his life, because he was in trouble, there's no doubt about that.
Fife Symington turns 70 years old next year, and with all the highs and lows he's experienced, he seems genuinely content with his life.
I'm proud that I was governor of Arizona. I love my state. I still love Arizona.
Do you ever contemplate running again?
No. No, and it's not a Sherman-esque statement, it's a no-no. I don't see how going back into public life would fit anymore. I mean, I've got other things that I want to do with my life.
Now, beyond charter schools, Indian gaming, and tax reform, Symington is known for something else: the Phoenix Lights, the UFO event in the valley, in the skies over the valley in 1997. Symington witnessed this that night, and he is convinced what he saw that evening was not of this world. I have posted that part of the interview on my Facebook page at John Hook Fox 10. When you go there, if you will, like the page. I always enjoy talking with you. You can find that interview right there.